Hey, comic fans, Higgy Pop in the comic room. I uh, I shouldn't be making a video. I shouldn't be doing a lot of things because I just had surgery yesterday for a hernia. But it's a rainy day, and I got something in the mail, so I gotta show you what I got. And I had my wife drive me to the comic book store like a little kid. And I'm a little tender, no running around, no being a goof. Just thanks for coming and giving me some company in the comic room. I'm gonna move slow, but even the guy at the comic store, he knew I wasn't supposed to be out, so I had to go in disguise. So I went in with a mustache, right? He's like, I says, I'm gonna buy some comics. I said, these are the ones I want. He goes, Higgy. I said, no, this ain't Higgy. He goes, I know it's you. I said, who? He goes, you're Higgy. I said, no, this ain't Higgy. But he wasn't having it, so I had to take off my disguise. This is what I usually rob banks with. And I had a lot of luck in the past, But anyways, I got some comics. Last time I was at the Second Alarm Comics, I didn't have my list. But I saw that he had Conan the King, a bunch of back issues from back in the day. And I needed my list. So now I got my list and I know what I needed. So this is what I needed. These are not King Conan. King Conan started after Conan the Barbarian, right? And King Conan went up to issue like 20. And then after that, it went to Conan the King, all right? And I needed like 10 issues from, it goes all the way up to issue 55. I need like the later issues here and there. But I needed this, issue number 25, all right? Okay. And when I'm done, I like to read the whole dang thing from beginning to end. I needed that. And I also needed 31, which he had, and I grabbed it. These are great covers. They're in great shape. And 29, issue number 29 I needed. All right. Conan the King, issue number 29. And I needed 28, so here it comes. Little Red Sonja action. She makes an appearance a little bit for a couple issues in this run. And I needed this one. All right, so I just got home. I marked it off on my list. I need 5 more issues of Conan the King. And then I'm done. I had to do it. Even I can't even barely breathe. But I'm a completist. I needed to complete the run. And I'm working on it. I saw my opportunity and I went for it. I put on my mustache and I went for it. This is issue number 25 again. 27. I just want to see what we got here. Stan Lee presents A Death in Stygia. Stygia is one of the cities from the Conan's era, the Hyperborean age. And, this looks like the classic Conan art from the main run. It's all good stuff. All good stuff. Sword and sorcery, baby. All right, you could start reading these things and you get put right into the time of Conan. You'd expect Conan to come walking right in the door and have lunch with you. I get all engulfed in this whole story. So I need to complete it. And I also I was eyeballing this the other day, and Second Alarm Comics in North Branford, Connecticut. He said, "I'll give you a great deal on it," and he most certainly did. What a great guy, Jim from Second Alarm Comics. And I got this, Ms Marvel #1, because I had Ms Marvel #2 and Tree, and I saw this, and I was like, one is the loneliest number. This is Carol Danvers. This is the first appearance of Carol Danvers as Ms Marvel. All right. And this is from January 1977. And it's a story by Jerry Conway. And the art is by John Buscema, Conan legend. Big John Buscema. And the inks are Joe Sinnott. All right. And this is on the cover, it says, right by her face here, it says, "This female fights back." No kidding. She ends up in this story. She fights the Scorpion, all right? And she's actually working for J. Jonah Jameson. She's working at the Daily Bugle doing a woman's magazine, all right? She's the editor-in-chief for the woman's magazine for the Daily Bugle. And J. Jonah Jameson hates it. But but she ends up saving J. Jonah Jameson from the Scorpion in the story. She meets Peter Parker, Mary Jane, all that good stuff, and it's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. And Carol, actually, I remember her when she wasn't Miss Marvel. She appeared in Captain Marvel, run in Marvel. She was working for the Air Force or something, working for the government. She was just Carol Danvers. But she actually, her first appearance was in Marvel Superheroes issue number 13 back in the day. And so this is it, man. I'm very happy to own this. I never had this. I'm very happy, very happy. And I got this. This is an ugly looking bag. I'm going to take it out of the bag. Take it out of the bag. You're like saying, "Higgy, how come you're not being funny and telling jokes?" Because I'm in pain. All right, I got this. The Mighty Thor, starring in Tales of Asgard, issue #1. All right. This is back in October of '68 by Stan Lee and Joe and Jack Kirby. All right. They write most of the stories in here. Actually, I think all of them. And there's like 3 or 4 different stories in here. All right. And the inkers are all switched up. The inks are by P. Reinman and Don Heck inks one of them. They do good jobs. And I think the first story is done by G. Bell, last name Bell. And those inks, they're a little questionable. I think they're a little heavy on the inks. You could have done a better job, but who am I to say? But the art is fantastic. This is Tales of Asgard. This is like the first couple stories are like you see Odin. He's fighting, like battling ice giants and all sorts of fun stuff. A couple Odin stories. Then there's a young Thor. Look at this. There's a young Thor. Damn, he's got the coiffed hair. He looks like looks like a California surfer. And there is all the guys towards the end, all of the Asgardian fighters. But there is Balder the Brave. I want to do Balder the Brave is a great character. I'm reading a 4-issue miniseries back from the early '80s that Marvel came out with, and it's actually very good. Balder the Brave is, his name says it all. He's a brave dude, and he does anything he can to stick up for Thor and Odin and all that. And it's a great story. He actually talks to wildlife and stuff. It's a weird character, but I put it on a list to talk about Balder the Brave after I finish reading that 4-issue miniseries. and because he's an interesting character. Interesting character. Now, I just got this. It's raining out here in Connecticut, so the mailman actually rang the doorbell, which is very polite. And I saw him walking away, and I saw his package in the doorstep, and he says, I said, "Thank you." And he turned around and said, "You're welcome. Have a great weekend." And I'm like, what a nice guy. So, and you're like, all right, use your letter opener, the sword. I can't even lift it. So, we're going to do the next best thing. We're going to cut it open. You're like, that ain't any fun. I'm like, you ain't kidding, it ain't fun. The good news is I'm going to get better. All right. You're like, who would go out of their way to order a comic in the mail and have it be Booster Gold, issue number 21? This guy. All right. Last week, I wanted to do a video on my Booster Gold, the first series he ever had, because I'm like, I got all those. And everyone's clamoring for some Booster Gold because apparently he's going to have a show or something, a TV show on Booster Gold. And I'm like, I'm ahead of the game because I already have that. I love Booster Gold. I think he's a fantastic character. And so I brought out the short box with all my Booster Golds in it. I got his first comic series, and I have his second one. And I'm like, and I start thumbing through. I'm like, I don't have issue number 21. I was so cocky, and I was like, yeah, I already hit the camera. I was going to do it. I'm like, I don't have issue 21. Cut, everyone cut. Threw it out. So I was like, I got to order this. So this is issue number 21. You see, Booster, you see this girl here? This is Michael Carter, Booster Gold. This is his sister, Michelle. And obviously she comes into the picture here after a while. And it's all good stuff. This is from October of 87. And this is all Dan Jurgens right here. Dan Jurgens on the art for the cover, art inside. He does the pencils inside. He does the story. And I think he's a very underrated character. I mean, a little sum up Booster Gold. He is from the future. From like, I don't know where he's from. He's from like, he's from the year 2040 or something. He's from the year like 2040 or something like that. Somewhere around there. And he's a college superstar football player. And his mother's ill with a disease, and his father's a no good some bitch who's a gambler, and so he needs money for the family. So he gets with the bookies and stuff, and they convince him to lose the football game to make money, and he gets caught and he gets put to prison. He goes to jail for this, and so he gets out of jail and he becomes a security guard for a museum of superheroes. This is all in the future, like the year 2040 something, or I'm way wrong with that. It's like thousands of years in the future. It's like I don't know. It's 2040 is way off. Anyway, so, and there's a lot of Legion of Superheroes in this museum. So anyways, he gets the idea because there's the time machine, the time bubble that the Legion of Superheroes always used to use. He's like, I'm going to change my whole life around. I'm going to go into the past with this time machine. I'm going to get he gets all the flight ring from the Legion of Superheroes. He steals it from the museum, gets a suit, gets all this stuff he needs to be a superhero. And he goes to the year 1987, and it's just a great. And the thing is, he's a real, he's an opportunist. He's got a great heart. He wants to be a hero, but he's always looking for advertisements, doing deodorant commercials. He's just a great character, but he's got a great heart. But that's Booster Gold. It's summation. I'm going to do a video on him and Blue Beetle because I have that run. So these are all things I'm going to work on because I'm out of work for a little bit, for a month, and I got ideas. And that's all. I wanted to come down here because I am losing my mind already. So I hope you like the comics, and I got to do some reading. I'm reading the Thanos book I got in the mail the other day, and it's a good story. It's a good story, but I'm gonna finish reading that, and that's it, guys. Because we read our comics because they make us smart. See you soon.